tuna maadili, songa kando tukuonyeshe vile tuna feel it, manifest the hood from a rap to killing.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. Thank you guys for being with me. Although last week I was totally on a hiatus, no sharing with Chi, no Kenyan Plug Pod. Sorry you guys. I've been busy. I've been really busy actually, and so I have decided that I'm going to be doing visuals at least come out once a month. Nitajaribu kufanya bi-weekly. I'll try to do them bi-weekly, depending on time. Lakini as of right now, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to the regular podcasting way. You know, go back to Anchor because it's easy, it's quick. The podcast is supposed to drop on Mondays. Now siku hizi like they're dropping Tuesday, Tuesday evening. So like I've just been so inconsistent with dropping the episodes. So I'm gonna decide to maintain my consistency, which I really do know is a big deal. I'm going to go back to Anchor for a little bit on a monthly visual for sure. And I'm going to do visuals at least once a month. Depending on time, probably not visuals for Shengwashi either. And I'm sorry to get you guys that are just checking me out on visuals, but make sure you're clicking the link below so that you can find all the podcast platforms that I am on. Sure, yeah? Let's get into the show. So, Twa Twa. Twa Twa. That's a conversation that's been happening. So with Kunayu, this lady, so of course, clearly, the socials of the week is the Twa Twa lady. Miss Twa Twa, the pastor.
Listen to this revelation. Sex is the only game that God created. All the others are man-made. Think about it. Football, football, rugby, netball, lakini hii ya God. Sasa game ya God inastahili kufanywa wakati wowote. Kama kuna kitu inatufanya tukue kitu kimoja na pastor, is sex. As we can have sex anywhere. Gari ni tua. Kitchen ni tua. Everywhere.
Mama Twa Twa is basically saying how like everything else, football, basketball, soccer, rugby, lakini the one sport that God made is Twa Twa. That's smashing, you know, doing the do. Yeah, that's Twa Twa. So this lady is basically saying like pastors do it, all humans partake in Twa Twa. So it's like, let's not forget that, you know, partaking in Twa Twa is God's sport. But you know what did not go viral is everything else that she said, which was, you know, about submission. She was talking about, you know, ladies don't think submission is weak, it's actually strength. And then she went on to say that all men want is a peace of mind and just consistency, peace of mind, and a woman that will do for them, you know, that will give to them, that will be there for them. And that's all that men want to continue. And everybody likes Twa Twa. So conversation yati only men like Twa Twa or only guys are into sex. Is everyone, even the pastors are into it. So if you have to do it in the car, if you have to do it in the kitchen, wherever you have to do it, just make sure you're partaking so that everyone remains happy. And I'm like, okay, pastor, Twa Twa, hey, Shimanipatia, that's gems right there. Those are gems. You guys just make sure you're being safe, okay? Be safe so you're not sorry later on. Because me on this thing on Twitter, one night stands, it can lead to pregnancy. What does that mean? It means yikes. So please make sure you are very careful with your Twa Twa and who you Twa Twa, okay? Twa Twa. Kwanza your generation Twa Twa. Twa Twa. Kwanza in church. Kenyan churches, they're so funny. There's Kenyan pastors in general. They're just always up to something. You never really know what will come out from Kenyan pastors. So yeah, but back to Kenyan Excellence. The Kenyan Excellence. So Kenyan Excellence has to be all about like Kenya just showing up. So Kenyan Excellence goes to Calligraph Jones, Sauti Soul, winning the Afrima Awards. That's a big African award. Kenya showed up. 2 artists, or actually 3. 3 Kenyan artists that were nominated and won, took big wins. And then Uncut Africa released their nominations for the remember you guys, I was telling you about the Hip Hop Awards by Uncut Africa. So they released the nominees for this upcoming awards, and yeah. So I hate that my artist plugs did not make it this year, but I know for facts that if they continue this way, if they continue putting out music and continue, you know, promoting themselves, by next year things will be looking different. So Uncut Hip Hop Awards 2020, I'm sure that my the people that I've interviewed, Nufa and Jaquil, will definitely make it on this list. When it comes to video of the year, I'm going with Spicy Season. That was a really dope video to me. Shout out to Valerie Madoni for putting she really did a good job. The whole video was dope. Breakthrough Artist of the Year. I like HR. I like Silverstone. I don't think BT is like a breakout artist of this year, but I think she's been more popular this year. Valerie, well, that's gonna be a tough one right there. Best Female Artist of the Year. This is the part I've been waiting for. As much as, you know, people are going to say BT or whatever, I am here for Monsky, okay? Monsky is probably my best female artist of the year. I don't think that people give Monsky the recognition that she deserves because she's hot. You know, she's really hot. So I think that Monsky should be top. I think she should win because Uncut, they're saying that this is, you know, giving the people that don't have voices or the people that are not recognized that much a voice and giving them recognition and appreciation. So I think that if they gave like Monsky, if they gave Monsky the female artist of the year, that would mean like, okay, they're really listening to like what she's about, like the artist herself. But when it comes to mass producing, and this is the thing that I always say, like, if you want to be recognized, you have to be consistent with music. Right now, I saw Silverstone, she just put Midnight in Nairobi out, and then you have Betty, who's constantly coming out with music. She did the Concept Volume 1 mixtape that she just put out. You just have to be a little bit more consistent, and that's the only thing that's holding people back, the consistency and the visual. Like, how are we seeing you? Do we see you all the time, or we just see you one time and lafu umepotea? Like, if you are consistently in people's faces, like, they cannot forget you. They cannot forget you if you're consistently in people's faces. Burna Boy in Mombasa, December. I am lit about that. Like, I'm going to be there or something, but I'm not going to be there. But I would definitely, if I was coming to Kenya, I would be like, damn, because if I missed that one, because Mombasa would be lit anyways. And then Burna Boy in Mombasa, that would be phenomenal. Even though I've seen people like complaining, oh, he's coming to Mombasa, he's going to be in Mombasa, Kwa nini ame choose that location? That location doesn't make sense. It's not open to most people. People would definitely want him to be somewhere in Nairobi where everyone can just meet up real quick. Like in Mombasa, is sometimes away. The tickets I hear are already high, so you're spending more money to go to Mombasa. And then you're spending money to go to Mombasa, and then you're also spending money to, of course, buy the tickets and enjoy yourself. So it's an expensive little concert, but you cannot deny the situation that is going to take place there. So artist that's not Kenyan being the main headliner for a lot of the December festivals is tripping people out, because they're like, you guys keep paying people that are not in this country. You guys keep blowing your bag on people that are not from Kenya to perform, and you're making people excited about that. When people have been urging play Kenyan music, people have been urging to support Kenyan artists. Alafu, when the time comes to do something big for Kenya, it's not a Kenyan who's attracting the people. It's not a Kenyan that we are supporting. It's not a Kenyan that the money is flowing to or flowing because, you know, the Tusker Festival, that was a Kenyan event and people showed up. So I think the idea of Kenyans not being able to support Kenyans is dead, but at the same time, for international money and, you know, for you to be excited for people that have never been to Kenya, to be on the beach, on the coast of Kenya, seeing Burna Boy, that is a phenomenal concert, okay? For a diasporan, like, to be in Kenya and to check out Burna Boy in Mombasa, manze, see, that's a deal. Sign me up. But if you're a Kenyan, you're looking for a Kenyan act in Nairobi, or you're looking for an international act in Nairobi because you're like, I just want to be able to get there. I don't care about this logistics and stuff like that or aesthetics. I care about me being able to go, me being able to afford it, and me having a good time. So I get it, but at the same time, these I think that the December festivals are geared to the diasporans. They're geared to the people that are not in Kenya. So that's the only problem. But I think that, you know, it needs to be an interchangeable one. So the Burna Boy event should be there, of course, yes, but it also needs to be something Kenyan, all Kenyan lineup, and just local. So I think the festivals can be, see, until all December, it's like Swahili, T.I., you know, Coffee, like a whole bunch of people that are not Kenyan are the ones headlining the December festivals. I think that's the problem. I think that's why it's good that people are getting more familiar with Kenyan music, because, you know, we have podcasts that are really putting Kenyan music on the map, and people are getting more and more familiar with Kenyan music. So maybe in like a couple of years, what can happen is that Kenyan names can attract big attention, you know, and make people that are in the diaspora like excited to come back home and be like, yes, I went to this concert, blah, blah, blah. But for a diasporan to say I went to back home to my country and on the beach, I saw Burna Boy, that would be crazy. That's a crazy conversation, you know, especially for people in the state, like international, because they're like, damn, like you want people to be like, damn, that's a beautiful place. That was a great time. Kenya really puts on like that. Oh shoot, I'm booking my trip for next year. That's what people want. That's the conversation that people want. So I get where everybody's coming from, but at the same time, I think that, yeah, it is important to put Kenyans on Kenyan festivals. Like, it should be geared and settled and kind of highlighted. We should highlight Kenyan artists. So besides Burna Boy, should be a Kenyan artist that's equally as dope. But Kenyan artists, is there any artist that's equally as dope as Burna Boy? You know, and I'm not saying that actually because whatever, but just saying in numbers, statistics, logistics, analytics, is there another artist that's dope and big as Burna Boy? Sinaona. So until Kenyans put themselves out there like that and make music that is going to capture international attention, I think, and that's just my opinion on the matter. But, you know, like I said, I'm not on the ground, so for ground with me, different, okay? You know, I call myself the Kenyan plug. But I definitely am introducing topics that are more prominent in the States because I'm here, you know? Because my idea was I'm coming to Kenya in December. It was in my head, it was in my notes, it was in my book, it was in my plans. I was coming to Kenya in December, so what I wanted to do was make sure that I was familiar with what's happening in Kenya as much as possible. So when I come, I'm not like, what's going on? But since Kenya has been pushed back, I just want to. And by the way, I found out who I needed to find out. I needed to know some people that were going to plug me to Kenyan music, Kenyan news, Kenyan gossip. Yeah, so now that I've found all of those things out, niko sawa, and I can keep up with that news. But I'm also here, and I can keep you guys updated with the news that's happening in the States. So this week's topic is about happiness. And you guys remember last week, the last podcast, I was talking about happiness and how I was going to revisit that conversation. And here I am talking to you guys about happiness. And the one thing that I got, you know, during my time of just solitude, I was figuring out some things. You know, sometimes you have to discover for yourself like what works and what doesn't work. So it's like I was in this place, a crossroads, not your birthdays anyways. When you're coming to a new age, you want to actually level up, you want to give yourself like a time to reflect, you want to give yourself like, you want to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes or you don't move the same way necessarily that you moved. And that was what I was doing. So for my birthday, I reflected, and what I came to was that I don't want to be kind of dragging along things that happened to me in my childhood, or things that really like disappointed me or hurt me when I was a child. And the thing is, like, whether we realize it or whether we don't, subconsciously, we are bringing in some baggage from childhood. And remember, you guys, when I was telling you about climbing the ladder, and you cannot have baggage on you because when you're climbing the ladder, you don't need baggage. And that's the same thing. But the thing about this kind of baggage is siati, the type that you carry with you, ya kweli, you know, or like the type of things that are just on the surface that if somebody pushes a button, you're reacting. This is the type of thing that's embedded in you. It's like almost in your DNA, like it's not. But it is, in a sense, you know? So it's like the way you grow up, the structure of family, the structure of who you are, even the structure of your parents and all of that stuff. It comes from your childhood, and then it trickles in. Pole pole tu kama sotbe. Ule sotbe anafanyanga. And it's something that happened from childhood, and you just bring it with you subconsciously without even realizing. And so, you know, definitions of happiness change as you adult. As you keep growing, as you get older, your definition of happiness evolves. And for me, when I was like 21, my idea of happiness was just being able to have a good time, being able to accomplish what I needed to accomplish, and be good. Like, that was it. That was my whole thing. Sikuwa nafikiria too much. I wasn't thinking like that much about this and that. I was just thinking about happiness is having a good time, having a good amount in my account, and having good people around me, like my friends are good, blah, 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 and being able to go out, have a good time, and get the attention of whoever I want. You know, like, that was happiness to me because I was young. I wasn't too wise about what happiness meant. And as I got older, like 24, even 25, I was thinking, okay, so happiness is once again the amount of money in my account, being successful, following my passion, my purpose, and, you know, finding the happiness in all of that. And that was my definition of happiness. So I knew that I wanted to be happy. I knew that it all began with self, and I knew all of those things. But what I did not know is whether I truly deserved to be happy. I think one thing is that you don't really put it in your head. Like, you know you want to be happy. You know you want happiness, yes. But you know, like, what makes you happy, and you have those lists. Like, do you know if you deserve to be happy? When I figure, like, do you think you deserve to be happy? And I was like, damn, you know, I never really thought about that. I never really thought about, do I deserve it? Because if you deserve it, you will go all out. You will go all out to make sure you're happy. Because if you have a boyfriend or a dame, so you're going to do whatever it takes to make that person happy. I could complain like, I'm not happy anymore in this relationship. I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy. But see, you'll do whatever it takes because you're fearful of losing that person. So you do whatever it takes to make that person happy because you think that they deserve to be happy. You know, they deserve to be happy, especially with you. But have we ever put that same light and energy into ourselves? Kusamati, I deserve to be happy, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I don't lose myself and that I am happy for the rest of my life. See, to your momentary happiness, because there's nothing worse than your temporary happiness. You know, your temporary happiness in a kwanga mebo. Alafu, I saw this tweet in Kasema. Are you depressed or are you just broke? There's a thin line between depression and broke, okay? Because when you're broke, it feels like all hell has broken loose, Aki. It feels like all hell has broken loose, like there's no light, there's no happiness, there's no chance of smiles, there's no chance of even at your positive conversation. Kila kitu ni negative. Faka unaanza to feel like you are depressed. You start to feel like you're depressed because, like, shit, you know, like, I cannot continue this way. I cannot continue to live a life of no money. Like, but what separates me from going into depression mode when I'm broke is that I know that my purpose is way bigger than what's happening currently, and my vision is way bigger than what happens right now. And I know that sooner or later God will fund my vision, you know, but I have to go through the process in order to get to where I'm trying to get to. So I understand that whole idea of faith, the idea of, you know, just understanding that it is God's plan and it's not mine. allows me to have that peace to not go into deep depression or deep down into a depressive mode. But being broke can do it to you. And that's when I realized, like, okay, so money should not be part of the list of my happiness. Like, I should not have money on my account looking good as part of my happiness list. My happiness should be all internal stuff. It should never be outside factors. Never. Because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Money, like, when I say money cannot buy happiness, but it definitely helps that. It definitely helps that ish. When you're happy, like, when you have money, you can do whatever you want. Unakuanga na biggest smile on your face toka ear paka ear. You're happy as hell because you're like, I got money, I got money to do what I need to do. But at the same time, like, you can have all the money in the world and be unhappy. The billionaires want to commit suicide because what? Why are they committing suicide when you have billions? It's because they're unhappy. So it's like, I don't want to define happiness with money anymore. I want to be happy without money. I want to be happy when I'm broke. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to ever feel depressed. I don't ever want to be in that depressive mode. I always want to be in a good, clear headspace. So, like, when I ask myself, do you deserve to be happy? And what are your conditions? And what is your standard of happiness? Nikaanza kusema, like, okay, this is a different kind of idea now. This is a different thought, And, yeah, so I choose me now. I choose me. You can choose money. You can choose your boyfriend. You can choose your parents. You can choose your job. You can choose your purpose. You can choose a lot of different things that you can say, okay, so this is what makes me happy. Or you can choose yourself. Or you can just choose yourself and say, okay, shoot, Shiro makes me happy. If nobody else makes me happy in this world, Shiro makes me happy. I make me happy. And I cannot be happy when I'm 10 different people, Like, kuna watu wengine, like, there's sometimes when you're like, you kind of adapt to people to make sure that you, like, conversation is flowing. You make sure that, kila mtu ako comfortable. Like, sometimes you adapt yourself to the surrounding that you're in so that everyone feels comfortable with having a conversation with you and just being around you. And if you're insecure with yourself, kabisa, like, si ati kabisa, like, but if you're a little bit insecure with yourself, you do adapt to people and you do adapt to surroundings so that you don't have to show your true self. You don't have to show your full self to people. And sometimes you say, hey, they don't deserve me. They don't deserve to know the real me. And that is also something that I have said. And you end up changing yourself up for the situation. And then you are able to be whoever you're around. And it's a thing. It's a thing that happens. But the problem is you're hiding yourself because you want to make other people feel comfortable. Instead of just cutting those people off. Or just deciding, okay, if you feel like you're not going to be cool with the person that I am, you're not going to be happy knowing Shiro for my full self, Basi, I don't need to be around you. I don't need to be around you. I don't need to salvage that friendship. I don't need to protect what we have going on here. If I don't feel comfortable enough to show you my true self, Basi, what am I doing? What am I doing with you? What are we doing knowing each other? We're doing nothing. Tunacheza tuna our time. We're just playing with our emotions. We're just playing with our time. We're just playing with this familiarity. We're associates. We're not friends. And that's a hard realization. Like, sometimes you have to remember that your bestie cannot be your bestie forever. Like, you don't know me anymore. The version of me that you know was like 21. Now I'm like 26 and I've changed completely. And you don't know me anymore. And I'm tired of doing a zini. I don't want to do a act anymore. I just want to be me completely. And if I don't feel comfortable with knowing you and you knowing me, but see, we don't need to be friends. And that's it. It's not that deep. It's not that major, And then there's times that you don't want to talk to anyone. Sometimes I don't want to talk to anyone. And that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Being alone, completely with self, meditating, reading a book, just in my own complete zone. Like, if my part of this life is to show up and show out and take care of myself and do right by myself, but see, that's what I need to do. Everything else is out of my control. If I'm going to be doing this, if I'm going to be doing that, if I'm going to be successful by next year, all of those things are out of my hands. All of those things are out of my hands. What I do have control of is making sure that I am the best version of myself. I'm happy with myself internally, externally, subconsciously, unconsciously, and consciously. I want to be happy. Complete. Okay? So I don't have time. Sina saya kucheza and like with my emotions and with my true self. Because if I want to project, and also on top of that, my purpose is huge. You know, so if you know you have a huge purpose and you have a lot of people to impact, kwa nini cheza with yourself? Why play with yourself? Why play with your happiness and your positivity when you know that's what you have to offer for this, for your purpose? Like, if you know that's what you have to do, you have to engage with people, you have to be, you know, somebody that is impactful and great. Why play with people? And I mean, why play with yourself and hide some things about yourself that you know need to be taken care of in order to do what you are called to do? So nikasema, this whole chapter of 26 is about choosing myself, being disciplined on myself, being very, very strict about who I allow into my energy, into my you know, my aura, and just cleaning out the impurities and the things that I've been dragging on and attaching themselves to me, even when I've thought I've brushed everything off. Maneno ingine tu ina cling on you, and because you're afraid to confront it and you're afraid to say, I deserve to be happy. You know, if you don't think you deserve it, basi you continue putting yourself in shit like situations. Utajieka tu hapo in situations that don't even look happy, don't even look good, from afar, from near, from anywhere. Then you're continuously putting yourself in situations that just suck. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of allowing certain things to happen, you know, that you know, okay, Basi, like, you know, like certain things, you know, like, damn, I deserve better than that. At least I should have done better than that. But, you know, sometimes you just don't see it. So when I finally reflected and I said, okay, I choose happiness and I choose me and I deserve it. And no matter what the consequences are, no matter who has to be hurt by this decision, but see, this is what I have to do. I have to do what I have to do, and I have to make sure I am complete, you know, as myself. So kutafuta mtu mwingine or looking for friends or money or other things to make me whole. I'm trying to be whole by myself, you know. So it's a decision I made, and I think that it's a decision we all have to make. You know, we have to say, clean up, kila kitu, clean up your past. Clean up everything, ukwe na clean set for your future. Ukwe na clear mind, clarity. Clarity is deep. Happiness is deeper than the surface. So you have to really do the digging. You have to dig through all the ish that you've been through and that you've held on to subconsciously, and execute and remove your arte. Remove your mananate, and it's just bad for you. And then be happy, man. Be happy, but don't make excuses justifications of why you shouldn't do this and why you should not do that. Usikatafute validation from other people. Validate yourself. Choose yourself, manze. Alafu move forward. That's it. That's all I want. 2020, that's my year to choose she roll. Hey, that's what I pick. You know, like if we were drafting, who do you pick for your team for next year? I pick Shiro first, you know, and then you move forward. And if you have people that have problems with that, basi, adios, kwaheri, nice knowing you. But if you have people that are with you and are willing to allow you to go through your own journey, basi, thank you. I appreciate you. To talk about this BS that's happening here. So ICE, which is the immigration police, they made a fake, this is a controversy for the week, by the way. They made a fake university. Got people, foreign students, you have been granted a student visa to come to our university and you know, your education and further your education with us. And this university on Mayaka page, they have made it so official. But at ICE, immigration police wako hapo unakugodia kusema ati, oh, it's your time to get deported. I'm taking, like, you brought me all the way here just to take me back. When you get deported, you don't have the opportunity to come back to the United States. I don't even think there's a grace period. Like, it's a period where you can wait until you come back. It's just not, it doesn't even have a period of time where you can wait until that time goes, alafu sasa you can come back. It's no time like that. When you get deported, you're deported forever. So yeah, Sinaza, I will lose it. I will lose my entire mind. So yeah, that is the controversy for sure. That is definitely disgusting news. And moving into the music that I've been checking out this week. I've been listening to Davido heavily, okay? So International Drip Playlist, Davido, that album is fire. Like I said, it's solid. It's a solid project, and I would say 17 songs, and I'm only skipping a couple, like maybe 3 or 4, but that's a solid project to me. So Silverstone, like I told you guys earlier in the show, the midnight in Nairobi, I think Silverstone has something. You know, you guys have to be on the lookout for Silverstone. What else am I listening to? Wine on a Wednesday by Suzia. That's who I've been listening to from the 254. Like lately, I've been listening to her. Yeah, I think she's dope. But all in all, this has been a new episode. This is going to be the last visual, maybe for the year. But I will do my best to at least come back and give you guys like a Christmas episode or something like that. Or I want to actually do a recap episode. So if I can do a recap episode before the year is over, I'll probably do that one as a visual. But from here on, and I'm going to make sure I link you guys below, I'm going to be going back to the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor, let's not forget, and so many, like I said, 10 other platforms. So if you're looking for Kenyan Plug Pod, just type up Kenyan Plug Pod Podcast. Well, just type Kenyan Plug Podcast, and all the platforms that I'm on will come up. So you guys, thank you for being with me. Thank you for being with me doing the visuals. And please don't take your subscription away. Actually, keep on subscribing. But yes, the visuals will be at least once a month or twice a month, maybe. But I will definitely be giving you guys a new podcast every week on Mondays. I'm truly thankful for you guys being with me as I transition from visuals, from the regular podcast to visuals, and now as I try to make it work with my schedule. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you guys for being part of the Kenyan Plug fam. And until next time, until we see each other again, may you continue to enjoy your December. And yeah, enjoy your Twa Twa. Until next time, so you guys be easy.
Telling me, baby, you bust up me medulla. When I broke up on it, make me sing, see, I am the regular.